Hello everybody, this is Sumit Raghani here, and I'll be guiding you through this entire course, Big Data and Hadoop course. So first of all, I would like to remind you, I like to give you a gentle reminder, gentle disclosure as such. This thing, the most important thing in the at the first part itself, that this course is for anyone and everyone who is enthusiastic enough for the data. By enthusiasm, this thing. By enthusiasm, what I mean is, I don't expect you to be very much upright with the current versions of database of Oracle or of Sybase or of any other database, or you should be very much thorough with the database languages, majorly SQL, or you should be very much upright with all the data formats that they store or different types of architecture that they handle. Nothing like that. You just need to be enthusiastic, understanding how data is created or why data is created, how this data can be used to improve results, to yield better profits, and to give some surprising facts that can give an edge to your business. So that enthusiasm is demanded here, not the technical enthusiasm. Moreover, with respect to technicalities, this course would entirely be like, you don't need to be very much into any programming language. Whatever programming knowledge is required, that will be delivered to you at the right moment, but you need to be very much focused, and rest of the things will be handled very easily. So let's just dive in the entire course. So I would just take you to, I'll first start with the introduction to big data. At this moment, you must have heard a lot about big data, or it's many times it's said that big data is being hyped. But with this course, you will understand that big data is not being hyped. In fact, it needs more attention than what it is getting now. So with session 1, we'll be dealing with the introduction to big data, and the agenda for this session will be these 5 points. This 5-point agenda will be following, by end of which we'll be very much known to what big data is. It won't be alien to us. Okay, so the first point of our agenda, building a rapport with our new friend data. Why I'm saying a new friend data, I have meaning behind it, is that from 15-20 years or 25 years down the line, data wasn't treated the way it is being treated now. It was just something present, some paperweight. It doesn't have much influence on your working culture, on the way you work. You separate the phases in which development takes place of anything, not software specifically, of anything. Data was just a paperweight, almost a paperweight. Hence I've mentioned here. You must have viewed that this thing. This point. Storage perspective. Previously, there used to be many devices, many of things were developed before. Macintosh, or the railways, or the aeroplane companies. Many of such companies who generated data like anything, means as in they used to develop not GBs of data. GB would be a very small quantum. It was like thousands of GBs, TBs, petabytes, exabytes of data these companies used to generate. But this data wasn't given much attention. It was more of a paperweight nature. So lately it got attention, and let's just go through this slide in a very quick manner. More of I'll be explaining you vocally through slide. You can understand it later. See, many of us might not be knowing this fact that data is a plural word, and the singular to it is datum. Datum is count of anything. Count means as in, my name is Sumit and I am an employee. I am one employee. So this is datum. Single thing, datum. More or less means as in, wherever we look upon in our life, whenever we speak, whatever we do, we generate some amount of data. We don't even realize that we are generating data, but we do realize that data. We do understand that, like breathing is necessary for life, generating data has become a norm. every one of you, you're understanding this thing right now. You're looking at your screen, listening my voice. You're putting in your some hours into it. What you did in that hour, you can note it down later. Yes, I heard this lecture. So you're generating data with every aspect of your actions. So be it your cell phone, means as in the devices that you use, the cell phone kept near you, the oven which you use, or the share market which you watch every morning, e-commerce that you do. SCM here, SCM is supply chain management. So supply chain management generates huge amount of data. I hope you must be understanding that, because supply chain is understanding the entire supply chain, how product is, how a specific product or service is being nurtured, procured and delivered. Everything means as in the entire life cycle of a business, sort of a perspective. This is CRM. CRM is customer relationship management. So the way you are managing your relations with your customer, the way you sort out their grievances, the way you take their feedbacks and improve your methodologies, the way you make it a satisfactory process for both the parties, you and the customer. That is CRM. That generates a lot of data. This thing entirely gives you a 180-degree phase shift to the clientele that your company handles. And there are many such things who generate huge amount of data, and if we speak, or if we segregate entire thing, the list will never end. The list never ends here. All these data sources that I mentioned, they used to generate this amount of data right from their invention. Means as in considering the density with which those sources were used, that has also increased in these days. But initially also they used to generate data. But this has been lately that this data has got its importance, and the importance that is got is huge. It's like changing the phase everybody works in your organization, and this data is generated in varied formats. This 7Z is a zip format, AAC, MP3, jar, your movies in MP4, your Excel files, your PowerPoint files, your documents, your databases, your contact list, the subtitles of the movie that you watch. The entire thing is being generated in different formats. So here we have different formats of data. Previously we don't used to have so many formats. At this point of time, at this edge of technology, we have varied formats of data. So it's not specifically that means as in if you have a database, so it has to be Oracle, or the SQL file that you will be having should be of .sql extension. The story has gone way beyond that. So there are different varied formats of data, and these data when handled individually produce different formats of handling data, and it increases something redundantly. Means something that is not actual to the service, something that is not actual to the product, increases management of those processes of handling different data formats, which is not desirable actually, because it's wasting your resources. So as I said before, this data was treated as a paperweight, and it has been in somewhere near 1960 that the new field of data mining emerged, which demonstrated the hidden facts, the hidden wealth in the stored data. Now I would like to I would like you to take you to the history, to the way data mining, data analysis in an overview, because that's not the actual focus of today, but I would like to take you to the traditional applications, the traditional analysis of data, in which way it was done before, what were the challenges at that time, which slowly gave rise to this current modern data mining technology. In 1960 there was a term, a term called as data fishing or data dredging developed, which means that you are straight away using some data straight away, without any prior knowledge, without any prior analysis. You are straight away taking your data set and you are working with that. That used to be considered as data fishing and data dredging. It means you are not understanding what data set you are dealing with. Just to do your work, you are taking up a data set and doing your work. You should first understand your data set, You should first analyze it, that what data set is, how it is being built, how it is being managed so far, and how it can be managed in a more efficient way in future. That strategy was not there before. So the absence of that thing was called as data fishing or data dredging.